Good afternoon, guys. Today's video I want to talk about sub 3 hour marathon training. This is a specific topic that a lot of marathoners that want to become a sub 3 hour marathon specialist really need to hear. And the truth is, there is nothing easy about sub 3 hour marathon training. I wish there was a be all end all advice that I could provide to you that would really easily guarantee you a sub 3 hour marathon, but the truth is that's not the case. And what I do know is there are some specific workouts, some specific types of training that you can do to become a 2:59 or faster marathon runner, and it's going to take a lot of focus and a lot of persistence on your part. But if you're at that point right now where you're getting close to 3 hours, maybe you're at 3:15, maybe you're 3:20, maybe you're 3:05. You're getting really close to achieving something that a lot of marathoners around the world want to achieve, and that's a sub 3 hour marathon. And if you're brand new to the channel, I want to definitely welcome you to the RunDreamAchieve YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, hit subscribe and the bell icon. That way, anytime I make a new video, you'll be notified. And definitely hit the like button as well, because what I want to do with these videos is to share as much knowledge as I can, give you as much feedback as I can, and if I don't answer what you're looking for in the video, then definitely leave me a comment below this video. I always answer my whether you're a subscriber or you're not, I always answer the people that comment on my videos. It's very important that I don't just cover the topics that I think are important, but what's going to really help you in the long run. So I started running marathons in 2002. I had no clue I was going to run the marathon. I had an offer from the Army World Class Athlete Program specialist who had heard that I ran a 53:12 or 53:21 at the 2002 Army 10 miler, and asked me if I wanted to be a part of the Armed Forces. It was an Armed Forces charity team that they were sending to the New York City Marathon in 2002. The trick was we were not allowed to start the race until every runner had crossed the finish line. So it was for every runner we passed, Chase Manhattan Bank was donating $1 for every runner we passed. So I started in 32,189th place and finished in 253rd place as the team's top finisher with a time of 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 36 seconds. So if you go back and you look at the results from the 2002 New York City Marathon, you'll see my finish time was like 2 hours, 51 minutes, and 40 seconds, 50 seconds, something like that. But my net time was 2 hours, 43 minutes, 36 seconds. So that's because the time, that 2:51 is including all the time every runner had crossed the start line. So, but in regards to you breaking a sub 3 hour marathon, you have to get to a point where 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile, which is what you need to average over the entire 26.2 mile distance. You need to make that pace feel more in control. And what I continue to stress on these videos and on RunDreamAchieve.com is getting to a point where you improve your lactate tolerance. You've got to be able to teach your body to run as efficiently as possible for as long as possible. And I created a course on RunDreamAchieve.com. If you click on courses or click on the notice here on this video, if you go to courses.rundreamachieve.com, there's a course I created called the Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro, and it's specifically built for athletes that are anywhere from, say, like 3:30, 3:20, 3:10, 3:05, athletes in that range, or 3 flat, that are trying to break the 3 hour marathon. And what it is it's more than just a cookie cutter program that you can find anywhere online. Yes, it's an investment on your part. There's no question about it. I mean, I spent thousands upon thousands of dollars over the years on personal development, on coaching, business related and also athletic related seminars, where I went to listen to athletes and coaches and business professionals that knew more than I knew in regards to not only learning how to run faster over a longer period of time, especially in the marathon distance, but just kind of learning entrepreneurship. That's kind of like what I'm currently studying in business school at Purdue, and I'm starting doctoral work in business administration at the University of Missouri, St. Louis in November. All that being said, when it comes to you getting to a point where you can break the 3 hour marathon, sub 3 hour marathon training definitely involves somebody that has a some form of talent. You don't break a 3-hour marathon without having some form of talent. But if you're running low on talent, you don't have that much, like I didn't have a lot, you have to really rely on your work ethic. And that means getting on the track, doing those mile repeats at around 6 flat per rep or under. You have to train far below goal race pace. Your goal race, you need to hold 6:52 mile pace over 26.2 miles. My recommendation is for you to get to a point where you're doing 6 by 1 miles on the track in around 5 minutes and 30 seconds per rep, with a 3-minute rest when you're first starting off, and then lowering your rest down to 2 minutes. Now again, if you're trying to break a 3-hour marathon, you do not want to start off running that aggressively on the track your first few weeks in your training block. Usually I recommend anywhere from a 12 to 16 week block of training. You can extend out to 20 weeks in preparing for a sub 3-hour marathon. But again, you do not want to just jump into your training. The body takes time to build up tolerance to those hard anaerobic workouts that we're doing. The types of workouts that I would recommend for athletes that are trying to break a 3-hour marathon is, yes, getting to a point where you can do 6 by 1 mile on the track, anywhere from like 5:20 to 5:30 per rep. Again, you're running far faster than you're trying to race at over the distance, but you want to get to a point where you're running as efficiently as possible for as long as possible, and being able to teach the body to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up in the bloodstream. And you cannot do that by running easy every single day. You're already a highly disciplined, focused, driven athlete if you're already looking for trying to break a 3-hour marathon already. Maybe you're at 4 hours right now, and you see a sub 3-hour marathon as something that you really want to do in the future, but you right now maybe don't think is possible for yourself. There are athletes around the world that compete in the marathon distance that drop over an hour off their marathon time. So can you go from 4 hours to 2:59? Yes, you can. But another thing that I really want to recommend to anybody that's trying to break 3-hour marathon is you have got to have a high level of a belief in delayed gratification. A sub 3-hour marathon is not going to happen overnight. So don't beat yourself up if you don't see the results that you're looking for right off the bat. When it comes to sub 3-hour marathon training, you have to have a plan in place. It's a lot easier if you have a training schedule which shows you what you need to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis. And that's what I built into the sub 3-hour marathon pro course, is teaching the athlete via video tutorials like this, videos first, and then sharing specific workouts, what you need to do, but also ending that sub 3-hour marathon pro course with a 16-week training schedule that's specifically built for athletes that are trying to run 2:59 or faster. So another tip that I recommend for sub 3-hour marathon training is you have got to get beyond just running easy every single weekend for your long run. You need to spend some time training at a higher heart rate. I recommend 160 beats per minute. That's about 85% of your maximum heart rate. So again, if you're trying to figure out what is my maximum heart rate, take your age and subtract it by 220, and that'll give you an estimate of what your maximum heart rate is. I will tell you that running at 160 beats per minute, depending on your age, is not going to be comfortable. It's an adjustment. It was an adjustment for me. It took me 5 years to go from 2:43.36 to 2:19.35. I've broken the 3-hour marathon about 9 times in my career, so I do know what it takes. But I will also tell you that if you hearing that I've run 2:19.35 for the marathon may make you think that I have a level of talent. Yes, I may have some talent, but I can tell you that I had more failures in this sport than successes. I did run well under 3 hours many times, 2:36, 2:32, 2:40, 2:50s, several times before I broke 2:20 and before I ran 2:26 for the marathon. That's my second fastest marathon. You have to expect the fact that this is not going to be a walk in the park. The fact that you're watching this video already tells me that you're already highly motivated, driven, And if you have an interest in sub 3 hour marathon training, then you already know what it takes. That's going to take a lot of heavy work on your part. But it's also what I recommend too, and what I teach in the sub 3 hour marathon pro course is working smarter. A sub 3 hour marathon is not just running high weeks, running 80 to 100 miles a week consistently over a long period of time. High mileage alone won't get the job done. If you're running 90 to 95% of that mileage slower than goal race pace, you're not teaching your body to improve its lactate tolerance. We race at our anaerobic threshold, which is around 164 beats to 174 beats per minute. And all of the world's top distance running coaches, a few of my mentors, Jack Hazen and Dr. Joe Vigil, when I was in college, I was surrounded by these two great distance running coaches and mentors of mine. And Dr. Vigil, you can look him up on YouTube or on Google, or Jack Hazen, either one of them, and you'll find that a lot of their training revolves around heart rate monitor training. So if you're trying to break a sub 3 hour marathon, you need to start implementing heart rate monitor training into your routine. I didn't know really anything about heart rate monitor training until my freshman year in college in 1995. Jack Hazen kind of got me started on it, and all his training philosophy was built around Dr. Joe Vigil's philosophy. So we as a team at Malone University in Canton, Ohio, we did most of our training around heart rate monitor training. Now, the only times we really didn't use heart rate monitor training was when we were on the track or doing, hard intervals, things like that. But we did use it for tempo runs or anaerobic threshold runs. You want to get that heart rate up high and hold it for a longer period of time at your anaerobic threshold, which is around, like I said, 164 to 174 beats per minute. The longer you can extend that, if you're, for sub 3 hour marathon training, if you want to become a 2:59 or faster marathon specialist, you have to gradually, as you get fitter, extend the amount of time you're spending at that tempo pace, the anaerobic threshold effort. I recommend starting off at around 3 miles for your AT run, when you're first starting off, because it's very difficult to hold that pace early on. None of us can do that right off the bat. None of us can go out and do a 12 to 15 mile tempo run right off the first few weeks of training. So I recommend starting off at around 3 miles, spend about 3 weeks at that pace or at that length, then go to 6 miles, then branch it out to 9, and if you can get it out to around between 10 and 14 miles for a tempo run, it's going to make you so strong for a sub 3 hour marathon attempt. Again, a sub 3 hour marathon training has to involve specific race pace training. Okay, coupled with very easy recovery type running. I'm talking jogging on your easy days. I've trained with 2:10 marathoners and 2:11 marathoners. These are athletes that can hold sub 5 minute mile pace over 26.2 miles, but they would run anywhere from like 8 minute mile pace to like 9:30 mile pace on their easy days. For most of us, most athletes, even if you're, like a 4 hour marathoner, a 4 hour marathon athlete has to hold 9:09 mile pace. So, but even a 4 hour marathon runner can go out and run 9 minute pace for a given distance, But when you see athletes that are that fast, that can go under 5 minute mile pace, and then have the discipline to run so slow on their easy days, if they can do that, so should you, and so should I. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I was able to drop from 2:43.36 to 2:19, was because I really slowed down on my easy days, but my hard days were much harder. It was extremely difficult to do some of the work as I was doing. And breaking a 2 hour and 20 minute marathon is it's a totally different animal than breaking 3 hours. Breaking 3 is even extremely difficult. You can take a sub 220 athlete and tell him or her to try to go out and run a sub 3 hour marathon, and they're going to have to put in some work in order to do it. It's not a jog in the park for even an athlete of that caliber. But again, your job as a sub 3 hour marathon runner is to hold 6:52 mile pace and to sustain that over 26.2 miles or 42.2 kilometers, and do that as efficiently as possible. your job is to conserve carbohydrate as well. And at any given time, our bodies only have about 1,800 calories of glycogen storage in it at any given time. So we burn about 100 calories per mile. So if you want to experience the so-called wall in a marathon race, run out of glycogen. And the only way to and usually most athletes experience this around mile 17 or mile 18 in the race. What I teach in the sub 3 hour marathon pro course, and what I just want to share with you in this video, is you want to do the types of training that will teach your body to burn fat rather than burn carbohydrates. And your body will burn fat at a more efficient rate by you doing faster training over a longer period of time. Again, you want to conserve carbohydrate so that you're using that carbohydrate at like the last 3 to 6 miles of the marathon distance. You don't want to fall apart in the marathon. I mean, I've been there. I know it sucks. But you do want to feel in control, and it's going to hurt regardless. It's going to hurt in the last 5 to 6 miles of the race, period. Once you get to mile 20, it is mainly all mental. But it's also, in terms of the marathon, you have to run as efficiently as you possibly can and have that carbohydrate to rely on in the most difficult part of the race. And again, the way you can do that is start running your long runs at a faster clip. Again, 160 beats per minute. Alternate the paces of your long runs. Don't just run easy every week, but also run hard one weekend, and then the following weekend you run slow and easy and relax. That way you can recover. You cannot run hard over a long period of time every single weekend and expect to get a return on your investment. It's not going to happen. So sub 3 hour marathon training is about smarter training to get better results. It's not just about running high mileage over a set amount of time. You can run 100 miles a week for 16 weeks straight, but if 90 to 95% of that weekly volume is spent running at 8-minute to 8:30 mile pace, and you're trying to run 26.2 miles at 6:52 mile pace, it's not going to get the job done. You have to spend time training far below the pace. So get on the track, do the mile repeats, 5:20 to 5:30 per rep. Get to a point where you're that fit where you can do that. Repeat 2 miles, 11 flat to about 11:10 per rep. Do 3 by 2 miles on the track. Do the types of workouts where you're sprinting. Continue to work on your leg speed, doing repeat 200s in like 28 seconds to 35 seconds. You're running, sub 4-minute mile pace or just above sub 4-minute mile pace for short amounts of time, which again strengthens that anaerobic threshold, that aerobic capacity. Your aerobic capacity is basically the maximum amount of oxygen uptake that your body can produce at very, very high levels of running. Aerobic capacity is when you build up so much lactic acid that you cannot clear it faster than it's building up. So you do want to train at that intensity as well to become a sub 3 hour marathon runner. And these are all the types, these are the same strategies, same tactics I used to run at the paces that I ran for the marathon distance. I started running the marathon in 2002, and I was 25 years old then. I'm 43 now. But I ran using these types of strategies, what I'm teaching you here in this video. I ran very competitive all the way up to age 38, really. I ran 2:19:35 when I was 31 years old, 2:26:42 when I was 35. I finished 5th at the 2011 Monumental Indianapolis Marathon. And then the last marathon that I ran actually was in 2013 at the California International Marathon, where I finished 2:32:55, and I was 38 years old then. So it's about consistent, persistent work, but also training as often as you can, far below 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile. That is it's accumulation of work to make a successful sub 3 hour marathon training work to your benefit. Okay, you do have to have some talent to break a 3 hour marathon. Nobody can just go out and run a sub 3 hour marathon without having some form of talent. But most talented athletes have spent years upon years building up to the point where they can get to a point to break a sub 3 hour marathon. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you learned in this video. Hopefully something that I've taught you that will get you into a different way of thinking in 2020. And let me know, where you're currently at in your training. What are some of the what's the most difficult part of your marathon preparation that you've had over the years? Something that every marathon you've run continues to give you an issue. I'd really like to know that. And just give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this video. I want to continue to make content that really is going to impact your running and your life. So again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, click subscribe, click on the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you in the next video.